Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutrabhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantav Punah Punah Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavedvaram Sadgurum Brahmavedvaram Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai Om Shanti 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 Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. In the broader discussion on Panchakosha Viveka, after completing Annamaya Kosha Viveka, Pranamaya Kosha Viveka, we are now in the discussion of Manomaya Kosha. And this discussion spans verses 167 to 188. Manomaya Kosha was defined in verse 167, and then Bhashyakara explains Manomaya's function through a beautiful metaphor. Panchendriyai panchabireva hotrubihi panchiyamano vishayajya dharaya jajvalyamano bahuvasanendanaihi manomayagnirdahate prapancham. The mind is said to be the sacred fire in a yajna, yaga yajna. And all vasanas become the fuel, further nourished by the sense organs. Those sense organs are compared to the priests, 5 priests for this Homa. And the sense objects themselves are the oblations. So this beautiful metaphor was given. Now, all the emotions belong to the mind. And hence, Manomaya is the primary problem. So he said that in verse 169, Nahasyatya vidya manaso tirikta manohya vidya bhavabandha hetuhu tasmin vinashte sakalam vinashtam vijrumbitesmin sakalam vijrumbate. So he says, for all practical purposes, mind itself can be called avidya. Mind alone is the cause for the bondage. Samsara, mind is the cause. The mind is gone, the entire samsara is destroyed. When the mind comes out, everything, all the problems come out. So this is very easily seen when we analyze the 3 states of experience. Swapne tashunye srijate svashaktya मन एव भोक्त्रादिविश्वं मन एव सर्वं तथैव जाग्रत्यपि नो विशेषः तत्सर्वमेतन्मनसो विजृम्भणम्. We can see that the Manomaya is alone the cause of samsara, even though we say ignorance is the cause of samsara. All our problems are because of ignorance, the Mula Vidya. That is true, but still, pure ignorance itself does not really cause much problem. How can you say that? Just look at your deep sleep. In deep sleep, ignorance is there in pure form. In fact, deep sleep state is given as an example of Jivan Mukti in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And those of you who are attending the Panchadashi class, chapter 11, you can appreciate this. This is what we are discussing. How in the deep sleep state, all the sense organs, they are not there, mind is not there, nothing is there. Only thing is everything gets folded into, the sense organs get folded into the mind gets folded into that Karana Sharira, avidya, ajnana. So it's a pure form where ajnana alone is there. And at that time, deep sleep is a state of sukham only. Anand. No problems there. So this is the discussion that is going on. Elaborately, Vidyaranya Swami has been discussing that. And those of you who are attending that will appreciate that. That is what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is talking about here. And then that ignorance gets activated along with the mind, senses, and everything. When we wake up or when we are in the dream state, that ignorance is there along with the mind. And that creates all problems. So the pure ignorance gets converted into samsara vis-a-vis the mind. Neither pure ignorance nor pure mind is a problem. You got to have one or the other by itself to be free of all problems. How do you prove that? As we just said, in sleep, ignorance alone is there. Mind is not there. Mind is resolved. No problem. For a jnani, mind is there. Jnani has the mind. But ignorance is not there. So realize jnani. He has jnana. Jnanam is not there. Only the mind is there. So when they come together, there is a problem. Each one by itself, no problem. Here, the role of the mind is highlighted. In some places, ajnana alone is there. In that state, no problem. But as we read, in different places, somewhere it will be said, ajnana alone, mula vidya, the root of all that. Mula vidya. The original ignorance, all that. That is the only problem. Is that correct? Yes, it is correct, because everything is a fallout of that. Everything comes from that. And so from that angle, they say ignorance alone is. But in other places, it will be said, mind, they will say mind is the problem. Is that correct? Yeah, that's also correct. But then you must understand. Mind triggers ignorance All that. Then all the problems start together. That's a better description of our samsara. But quite often, mind is emphasized. Here, the discussion is about manomaya, so that's what we are talking about. Therefore, Shankaracharya is talking about this, and the logic he is giving is, most of you know, I've mentioned it several times, Anvaya Vyatireka. Anvaya, when something is there, second item is there. When something is not there, the other one is not there. So one is the cause, that is the reason for the other. Like that. The Anvaya was shown in verse 170, that in Jagrat, Swapna, Avastha, the mind is there. Then there is samsara problem. Now for Vyatireka, Vyatireka means absence. When A is not there, B is not there. Therefore, A is the cause for B. When A is there, B is there. Together, that will substantiate the fact that A is the cause for B, like that. Now let us see the Vyatireka part of it in verse 171. Sushuptikale manase praline. Sushuptikale manase praline. Naivasti kinchit sakala prasiddhe. Naivasti kinchit sakala prasiddhe. Ato manah kalpitayeva pumsah. Ato manah kalpitayeva pumsah. Samsarayetasya na vastutosti. Samsarayetasya na vastutosti. Sushuptikale manase praline. Naivasti kinchet sakala prasiddhe. Ato manah kalpitayeva pumsah. Samsarayetasya na vastutosti. So, showing the Vyatireka portion of this proof, Shankaracharya analyzes the Sushupti Avastha, our deep sleep state of experience. The mind is completely resolved in that. Mind is not active. Mind is not functioning. Therefore, he says, Sushupti Kale Manasi Praline. Sushupti Kale, in deep sleep, Manasi Praline, when the mind is resolved, it is resolved into Karana Shariram. The mind belongs to Sukshma Shariram and it gets resolved into Karana Shariram, the causal body. So that when the mind is resolved, Kinchit Naiva Asti, nothing is there. We don't experience the world. There's no world existing. As Bhogyam, as objects of experience. I do not exist as the Bhokta. Intellect is not there. The Katritva, Bhoktutva is in the intellect. It's not there. There is no interactive experience. The Karana is our mind is also not there. So there is no experience. There is no Bhoga. So there is no Bhoktru, Bhogya, Bhoga, Vikalpaha. The distinction is not there. The Triputi, we call the triad of these three, not there. Kinchitapi naiva asti. Nothing is there at all. What's the proof? No necessity for proof. Because you go through the experience every day. You go through your sleep. After that, you will say, I knew nothing. Therefore, he says, Sakala prasiddhehe. This is well-known experience of all people. In the absence of mind, in deep sleep, there is no problem. Therefore, mind is the cause of samsara. So this way, the Vyati also proves that. So the conclusion is ataha, therefore, in the presence of mind, samsara is present. In the absence of mind, samsara is absent. This is what he says. Ataha manakalpita eva pumsaha etasya samsaraha. Samsara of a human being, all the problems and troubles that we go through, is affected by the mind alone. Mind is the cause of samsara. Since it is mind cause, Shankaracharya concludes, samsara is not the intrinsic nature of me. This samsara, all these problems, it's not my own nature. Somebody else is the culprit. Somebody else is causing it. It's the mind. It's an incidental thing. It is not intrinsic to you. It's like the heat of hot water. Water is naturally cold only. If the water is hot, that property has come from elsewhere. It was in contact with heat and then the water became hot. It's an extraneous factor causing that. So you just leave it outside, cut off the heat source, eventually it will come back to the ambient temperature. So what is incidental, what comes and goes is called agantukam. And whatever is agantukam, whatever is incidental, it is not swabhavikam, it is not intrinsic. Since the mind alone causes samsara, and when the mind is not there, as in deep sleep, samsara is not there. It comes back again, springs back when you wake up. So he says, vastutaha, intrinsically, naturally, really speaking, in essence, nasti, it's not there. There is no samsara. That's not natural to you. That's something you have created through your mind. See, if samsara is intrinsic to me, if samsara is my very nature, it will never go away. That's a scary thought. If that is intrinsic, that means in sushupti also, sleep also, I should experience samsara. And we don't. Very fact, in deep sleep, I do not experience any problems, any troubles. It indicates that is not my nature. This is one of the very important arguments in Vedanta. Sushupti, deep sleep, proves samsara is not my nature. Grief, sorrow, etc., that's not my nature. Happiness is my nature. Therefore, sleep is very important biologically for our health. So much of discussion these days, I'm reading over and over again. 7 to 9 hours of sleep, everyone should have. At least 7. Don't be a workaholic. Don't shortchange your sleep. So physically very important. But I tell you, spiritually also, if you understand sleep, you will understand your nature. So that samsara, that problem, is not your nature. It's not intrinsic to you. If it were so, you can never drop it. Consciousness, that is you. That is intrinsic to you. In sleep also, you don't drop it. Chit is there. Sat Chit Ananda. Because Sateva Chit, Chideva Sat. Existence is consciousness, consciousness is existence. So consciousness is there. So the point here is Vastutaha. samsara nasti, samsara is not there. Let us get that straight. Once you know samsara is not, we would figure out a way to get out of it. Whatever is felt, that's not me. So there has to be a way out, and I will start working to get rid of it. And by the way, I would add one more point also here. We've said the mind is the cause of samsara. In the presence of mind, samsara is there. In the absence of mind, samsara is not there. From this, one may conclude mind alone is the cause of samsara. Therefore, you have to destroy that mind. This is called mano nasha, destruction of the mind. Such people who believe in that, who walk down that line of reasoning, they will talk about how to bring about this mano nasha. They prescribe nirvikalpa samadhi for mano nasha. Because in samadhi, you're removing slowly all the thoughts. Their argument is mind is full of thoughts. And these thoughts also manifest. So you go on eliminating the thoughts. Then the mind becomes thinner and thinner. And when you are in that nirvikalpaka samadhi, mind is really thinned out. Then a day will come when all vasanas are gone. And the very embodiment of vasana, the mind is also destroyed. And you will become a thoughtless, mindless person. That is called moksha. That is the line of thinking argument. So this aspect you should very clearly understand. Should this be taken literally? Is our goal becoming mindless? If that is the case, what is the difference between a living being and a non-living, say, a desk or a table or a chair or a rock? They're all inert matter. They don't have mind. And you become a jnani, and that jnani also becomes mindless. So you become inert? Is that what you want to be? Should we do all these sadhanas to become a stone or a piece of wood? Are you interested in such a mukti? Is that the kind of moksha you want? You will be alive, but you won't understand anything. Whether people are around you are there or not, you won't know. You will have a vegetative existence. That kind of Jivan Mukti, does anyone want? If that is a description of moksha, I tell you, nobody wants that kind of a moksha. The real moksha described in Vedanta, it is not a mindless or a thoughtless stone-like existence. Instead, it's a very live existence, wherein one fully admires and appreciates the creation. It's a wonderful existence, not a literal destruction of the mind through samadhi. We never accept physical destruction of the mind through samadhi. Then how do we interpret mano nasha? We can understand this in two ways. One is mityatva nishchaya, falsification of the mind. You falsify the mind. That's all. It doesn't have real existence. As the world has no independent existence, independent of Brahman, similarly, mind also does not have an independent existence. This kind of an understanding is called the wisdom of mano nasha. With this wisdom, I continue to use the mind. I use the desk after the knowledge that there is no such thing as a desk. It is not separate from wood. So that is called desk knowledge. on the desk. If you understand this, that there is no substance called desk, it's only wood. Desk is only a name. So the desk is as though destroyed. So it is mityatva nishchayah eva nashah. Determination of the falsity alone is destruction. So mano mityatva nishchayah eva mano nashah. Falsifying the mind alone is the destruction, is figuratively called that. Jnani will happily use his mind, even after mano nasha, through knowledge. So this is the first interpretation. The second interpretation of mano nasha is the destruction of the problematic mind. How do you destroy the problematic mind? You destroy the problematic mind by converting it to a non-problematic mind. That's all. How do you do that? Very simple. An ignorant mind is problematic. A wise mind is not problematic. We've seen in the Bhagavad Gita. The very first verse which started the teaching, the 11th verse, the second chapter. Gatasun agatasuncha na anushocanti panditaha. The wise do not grieve over the ones that are gone or are about to go. That will go. A mind that is dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukheshu vigadaspruha, vita raga bhaya krodha, stita dihi munihi uchyate. Yasmanot vijate lokaha, lokano vijate chayah. All this we have seen in the Gita. When the mind is non-problematic, you do not feel the burden of the mind. A health even felt when everything in your body is working just fine. You don't even feel its presence. When they are not working, my knee is aching, my back, this, that. Till that time, when everything was okay, you don't even feel their presence. Very light. Same thing goes for the mind. Your wise mind is a light mind. And the mind is full of sorrow. That is a huge burden. Jnani has destroyed such a problematic mind. It's as though it is not even there. As though, as if. It's a very important phrase, as though in Vedanta. Quite often we'll throw it in, as though, as if. Mind is there, but it as though it is not there. It's no physical destruction of the mind. Continuing verse 172. Vayunaniyate megah, Vayunaniyate megah, Punaste naiva niyate, Punaste naiva niyate, Manasa kalpyate bandhah, Manasa kalpyate bandhah, Mokshaste naiva kalpyate, Mokshaste naiva kalpyate. Vayuna niyate megah, Punaste naiva niyate, Manasa kalpyate bandhah, Mokshaste naiva kalpyate. So Shankaracharya must be aware of this problem that people think mano nasha, because he has said in the presence of the mind, there is samsara. In the absence of the mind, there is no samsara. So mind is the cause of samsara. And so people will go about saying, let us destroy the mind. Eliminate all thoughts. Expecting this problem, he makes another point in this shloka. No doubt the mind is the cause of samsara. And mind alone is the cause of moksha also. Therefore, destroying the mind is a foolish approach. Because you should remember, the mind which is the cause of samsara, the very same mind is the cause of liberation also. Don't destroy your mind too soon without gaining the knowledge. You have to retain the mind carefully till you get liberation. To convey this, he gives an example. Example of the wind. When there is a bright sun and when there are dark clouds, the wind may blow and bring the cloud in front of the sun. It may be bright and sunny right now, and if you look at the forecast, in 30 minutes, you're going to have heavy rains. So it's bright and sunny now. How will you have rains? And then you see slowly the sky gets, darkened. And sure enough, the forecast was right. 30 minutes on the dot, heavy downpour. Before that, darkness would happen. The wind has blown the clouds, and then that has covered the sun. And then the downpour is there for 10 minutes. Everything clears up. What happened then? The same wind has blown the clouds away. So it's a wind that had led to covering the sun through the clouds. Similarly, it's a wind which had cleared those clouds. So the wind is responsible for sun covering. It's also responsible for sun clearing. Similarly, the mind is the cause of samsara. The mind is the cause of moksha also. So destroying the mind is not a solution. Destroying the mind is a solution. You just sleep full time. And no samsara, no problem. We all seek some temporary solution. When something is bothering you, you're worried of something, you just want some temporary relief from that. So you try to go to sleep. Of course, when you have worrying thoughts, you cannot go to sleep. So some sleeping pill or something or other. Really foolish people try to get rid of the mind by other drugs and alcohol, etc. That is also okay. Those are not good solutions. But the fact is, when the mind is not there, you are not experiencing those problems. So, point is that the mind is the cause of the problems. So, that's what he has said here in this example. Megaha vayuna aniyate. The cloud is brought in front of the sun by the wind. Vayuna, by the wind. Then punaha, again, tena eva niyate. Again, it is the wind that takes it away. Same wind alone, the cloud is cleared, removed, and then the sun shines. In the same way, manasa kalpyate bandha, mind alone is the cause of bondage. At the same time, do not conclude, since the mind is the cause of bondage, let us destroy the mind. Do not come to that kind of a hasty conclusion, because moksha tena eva kalpyate. Same mind alone makes you to gain liberation. Same idea is said in the Gita also in the 6th chapter. Atmaiva hi atmano bandhuhu, atmaiva ripuhu atmanah. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmai atmanajitah. Anatmanastu shatrutve vartet atmaiva shatruvat. The mind is your relative, your friend. Mind alone is your enemy. Hmm. Your friend is the mind. With that friend only you conquer, gain liberation. Same mind is your enemy also. Naturally, the question is, how can the very same mind be both a friend and a foe? We don't see such things in the world. A friend, he's not inimical to you. And someone who is an enemy, he's not a friend, except in politics. You can never say anything in politics. How can one and the same person be an enemy and a friend? Bhagavan himself answers the question. The body which is under your control is your friend. The disciplined mind is your friend. A healthy mind is your friend. The undisciplined body is your enemy. Undisciplined mind is your enemy. So we need not even go to the mind. You just ask whether your body is a friend or an enemy. As long the body is healthy, it's your friend. Once it starts giving problems, you begin to see your body as your enemy. So Shankaracharya says, mind is your friend and your enemy. He's going to explain that hereafter. देहादि सर्व विषये परिकल्प्य रागम् देहादि सर्व विषये परिकल्प्य रागम् बध्नादि तेन पुरुषं पशुवद्गुणेन बध्नादि तेन पुरुषं पशुवद्गुणेन वैरस्यमत्र विषवत्सुविधाय पश्चात् वैरस्यमत्र विषवत्सुविधाय पश्चात् येनं विमोचयति तन्मन एव बन्धात् येनं विमोचयति तन्मन एव बन्धात् देहादि सर्व विषये परिकल्प्य रागम् बध्नादि तेन पुरुषं पशुवद्गुणेन वैरस्यमत्र विषवत्सुविधाय पश्चात् येनं विमोचयति तन्मन एव बन्धात्. So here he explains how the one and the same mind is the cause of both bondage and liberation. As I said, in the case of the body, a healthy body is your friend. An unhealthy body is your enemy. This can be extended to the mind also. A healthy mind is a friend. Unhealthy mind, enemy. You can present it in another way. And Bhashyakara does it here. He says, a ragi mind is bandha hetuhu. Ragi mind full of attachments. Ragi. And viragi, one who doesn't have all that attachments, one who has lot of vairagya, viragi, that is moksha hetuhu. That will enable liberation. A ragi mind is full of likes and dislikes. The mind cannot handle the likes and dislikes in a healthy manner. It's important to note that the mind can never be without raga dvesha, likes and dislikes. No question of raga dvesha completely. So time and again, Bhagavan Sri Krishna has said very clearly, Bhagavad Gita, indriyasyarte raga dvesha vyavastitau. Likes and dislikes are bound to be there. So what do you mean by raga dvesha rahita? A mind that is free of likes and dislikes, attachment and aversion. So it is a mind that can manage it, that can handle it. A mind that makes those raga, dvesha, etc. into preferences. Make them weak preferences rather than must-haves. When the likes and dislikes are strong, I gotta have it. Get away from that. I prefer a cup of coffee. Wonderful. Nothing wrong. If you like coffee, what's wrong? If you like tea, what's wrong? But if I say, I need a cup of coffee, I need a cup of tea. People say that, when I get up, I gotta have it. Otherwise, this engine does not get started. I cannot get going if I don't have it. That is a problem. That is a problem. When you are at home, you can make sure as soon as you get up, you can get a cup of coffee. When you come to the ashram, you get up 5 o'clock in the morning, they don't serve tea till 6:30. That's a problem. Then your entire stay in the ashram becomes, I want to get some peace and quiet here. I don't even get a cup of tea. That's what's going to happen. So, I like to have. If it's not there, it's not going to ruin my life. It's okay. A non-binding raga dvesha is a mild preference. So I should know how to get rid of that raga dvesha. Especially when that raga and dvesha lead to illegal, immoral, all those things. So very strong raga dvesha, a big problem. Mild preferences are not. So this is called mind management, raga dvesha mind management. Such a mind is called viragi mind. He is a master of his raga dvesha. Likes and dislikes, he is master. So they are under him. It is not totally bereft of raga and dvesha, but he has control over that. A ragi mind is a slave to the mind. It's a slave to his attachments, his likes and dislikes. He's a hostage to that. Therefore, Bhagwan Shankaracharya says, Ragam parikalpya, ragi mind creates binding attachment. Dehadi sarva vishaye, to every object of the creation, including the physical body. Deha adi, starting with the body, everything. Tena purusham badnati. By that, meaning by that attachment, the mind binds the person. It would not allow the person to do anything meaningful. I'm not physically bound, but if I don't have my coffee in the morning, I'm unable to do anything. It's a ropeless binding. The mind is like a person, the attachment is like a rope. The mind binds a person by the rope of attachment. It is pashuvat gunena, like tying an animal with a rope. Just as we can tie an animal to a post, to a pillar, etc., with a rope. Otherwise, it will run away. Here you uses the word guna. Guna has two meanings. One is a rope. A rope is called guna in Sanskrit. Other meaning for guna is the three gunas of the mind. Both of them mind. Both of them bind. Both of them bind. Rajoguna especially, that expresses like strong attachment. So Rajoguna, that binds. We'll talk about that later. The mind with the help of Rajoguna caused attachment. That is an inimical mind. That's a mind that is your enemy. What does a friendly mind do? He says, Paschat Vairasyam Atra Vishavat Suvidaya. The very same mind, when it produces Vairagyam instead of Raga, Viraga, very same Ragi is converted to Viragi. Paschat, then the very same mind, Vairasyamatra Vishavat Suvidaya, a distaste to Atra, to the world of objects. Avoids them like Vishavat, like poison. Tatmana eva, that mind only, Vimochayati, that will release him. Releases enam, this jiva. Bandhat, from bondage. So a ragi mind, a mind full of attachment to the world of objects, is the cause of bondage. And a viragi mind, detached from the world of objects, is the cause for liberation. I said before, an unhealthy mind is the cause of bondage, whereas a healthy mind is a cause of liberation. Healthy and unhealthy depends upon the presence of raga dvesha. If it is not there, it's a healthy mind. If it is there, unhealthy. Kasya sukham na karoti viragaha, Bhagavan Shankaracharya has said in Bhaja Govinda. Suramandira taruni Mula Nivasah, Shaya Bhutalamajinam Vasah, Sarva Parigraha Bhogatyagaha, Kasya Sukham na karoti viragaha. Such a viragi, he doesn't have any attachment. He is a jnani. What sukham does he not have? He is ever happy. But if you have that kind of raga and dvesha, you can never be happy. You will be bound only. Okay. So more we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shante Shante Shante. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.